Mama, have you just moved or are you in a new transition of life with your daughter? The boxes are packed, the school supplies are bought, and she's standing on the edge of something new for herself. But your teenage daughter in a new transition, whether it's moving to a new town or starting high school, can feel less like an adventure for her and more like she's about to jump off a cliff. And how do you, as her mom, become her soft landing and her greatest guide? So, today we're going to talk about sharing 5 ways to help your teen daughter navigate these big transitions with confidence and grace. Hang tight. If you are frustrated with how to get your teenage daughter to open up to you because all you want is to connect with her as you once did, you're in the right place. Hey, I'm Jeannie Baldomero, a former rebellious teen, now mom of 3 young adults, educator, and the mom mentor, equipping you to create open communication with your girl so she can come to you about anything, even if she's scared. So grab your oat milk latte, breathe, and let's do this together. I know you are frustrated and confused about how to even approach your girl without having any backlash or somehow causing any offense. You simply want to know more about her because for some reason you don't feel as connected to her anymore. She talks less, not like how she used to, and you just wish things were different between the two of you. You want to know whether or not things are going okay with her. She just won't share with you, and you just don't know why. You've tried everything, but it was so hard to connect with her. I want you to know that there is still hope, Mama. You are not alone. I want you to stop feeling frustrated with your current situation, and I want you to start equipping yourself with solutions to help you reconnect with your teenage daughter. I'm going to help you understand the changes happening in your girl, how you can shift your role in this new season in teenhood, and how your relationship will flourish again by creating a space where your girl will be talking to you. Yes, your girl will be talking to you. Talk to Your Teen Girl Framework is a 30-day journey that will get you creating open communication with your teenage daughter. She'll come to you even if she's scared, even if it's something hard to talk about. She'll come to you. I want you to head on over to talktoyourteengirl.com right now, and let's get started together. Are you ready? Okay, today we're talking about a topic that I think most moms, especially moms that are probably military and military families or found themselves in a new job out of state somewhere and had to move and relocate the whole family, or maybe a middle school who just celebrated a promotion, or even an elementary school who just celebrated a promotion going into middle school, or a high school graduate about to move away for college. Guiding her through life's big changes is a huge topic for us moms. These moments are defining for our daughters. And as their moms, we are their most important compass. When I say compass, we guide them. So let's dive into the 5 ways you can guide your teenage daughter through a life transition. But first, let's get a little insight into what might be going on inside her head and her heart. What is she feeling? What is she thinking? Having to take on this big transition. I just, not too long ago, about 3 years, going on our 3rd year, my daughter made a big transition and decided to really dig her heels into training and get really serious into her ballet training and move out of state and live close to the studio she was training out of. It was a huge transition, not for just her, but for our whole family. So here are some of the things that we can talk about, just experiencing what my daughter had gone through and what your daughter might be going through when she's facing a big change. It's not just about a new locker or even a different bus route that she might be experiencing. She's experiencing a huge, profound shift on multiple levels, not just the situation at hand and what she's about to face. Let's talk about these three key areas. She's having an emotional shift, okay? Emotionally, she might be feeling a whirlwind of all these emotions. There could be a deep sense of loss of what was familiar, like her friends, her routine, maybe even her home, and her place in a social hierarchy. This can create a sense of sadness, anxiety, or even anger, and she might also feel overwhelmed by the unknown and wondering if she'll make new friends, if she'll ever fit in, and if she'll be able to handle the increased academic pressure, right? If she's transitioning into a higher level school. What looks like being moody on the surface could be her grieving her old life and fearing her new one. Second, it's physically. Let's not forget that her body is still changing and developing. Stress from a transition can amplify these physical feelings. She might experience changes in her sleep patterns, either sleeping too much or struggling with insomnia. Stomach aches, headaches, or general feelings of fatigue can also be her body's way of reacting to this stress. So pay attention to these physical cues. They're often her body's way of signaling that she's feeling overwhelmed, even if she can't articulate it. She can't form those words. And then third, mentally, her brain is on overdrive. She's processing a flood of new information and a lot of new stimuli, right? Being in a new situation or new environment. She's mentally mapping out new layouts of a school, trying to remember new names, maybe even trying to even figure and remember her new address, and figuring out a whole new set of social cues. This can lead to a kind of mental fatigue. Her concentration might be off. She may seem distracted, or she might be more irritable than usual because her brain is just tired. Her brain is working overtime to build a new sense of security and belonging. That takes a tremendous amount of mental energy. So understanding these three factors gives us a foundation to be the guide she needs. So with that in mind, let's talk about 5 practical things you can do to help her navigate this journey. The first one is validate her feelings and create a safe space. I say that all the time. It's so foundational. Regardless of what area in life you're talking about, validating your feelings and creating a safe space. And the most important thing you can do is really listen without judgment. When she says, I hate this new school, resist the urge to immediately say, it's not that bad. You'll love it. Instead, maybe try, it sounds really hard right now. What do you miss about your old school? And this really validates her feelings and opens the door for her to really talk to you and share more about what she's really feeling, right? Create a designated venting time, maybe in the car ride or on a walk, or maybe in her room when she's sitting there where she knows she can speak freely without you trying to fix everything, okay? Second is establish new routines together, right? With new big transitions come new routines. Transitions are destabilizing, meaning that they can throw us off, right, from a regular routine that we've been used to. And it's about creating new habits because this really does disrupt your routine. So help her create new rhythms. If it's a new school, walk the schedule together. Figure out where her classes are. I don't know if she'd want you to walk with her around her classes, but maybe, if you can find with the internet, there's practically everything on there. Find a map of the school and help her figure out where she needs to be, where her locker is, and what's the best path to the cafeteria. And for those of you who moved, plan a new morning routine or even evening ritual where something that you can do together. This really does create a sense of predictability and security in an otherwise unpredictable time for her. Okay, so establish new routines together. Also, the third is encourage and facilitate connection. One of the hardest parts of transition is the loss of her social circle. And actively helping her find new connections um, would be vital. If she's into art, research local art classes. If she's played volleyball, help her find a team at the school when they have volleyball season. It's a good idea to suggest reaching out to a few new people on social media for or inviting a new friend over for an ice cream. I know that's going to be hard for her to do that and pretty brave, especially feeling like she's the new kid, right? But to encourage her, just one person to invite over, something to do something small. You can also make a point of keeping her connected to her old friends. Maybe a planned video chat, right? With FaceTime, it's so easy to stay connected. My daughter, her besties here back where we live, she remains connected to them because of technology. She's able to FaceTime with them and talk to them in that way as if she's never left, right? Maybe chat with them once a week or a trip back to visit. Number 4 is model resilience and self-care, right? Let's model that resiliency and self-care because she's really watching you. If you're anxious or stressed about the change, she will pick up on that. Now, show her what resilience looks like by openly talking about your own feelings, but in an age appropriate way, right? What can she handle at her age? And how you're coping. An example could be, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed with all the new unpacking, so I'm going to take a 15-minute break to listen to some music, right? You're explaining what you're overwhelmed about this whole transition and what you're going to do to help yourself. This also really normalizes the importance of self-care, right? It'll encourage her to find her own ways to de-stress, whether it's journaling like me, or listening to music like my daughter, or just going in your room and taking a nap, and that is okay. And the fifth and last way we can guide your daughter is focus on the why and the what's next. Help her see the bigger picture. If the transition is a move from a new job for you, explain why it's a positive change for the family. If she's moving from middle to high school, talk about the new opportunities she's going to have, the different clubs that are available, new classes she gets to take, the potential to meet new people with a wider range of interests, and not to mention, they're a lot more mature. So shift the focus from what was lost to what she's going to be gaining, helping her set small, achievable goals. You know, in the Talk to Your Teen Girl framework, we have a tool called SMART Goals, and there's an episode. If you go back into the episode list, you'll find an episode that talks about SMART goals. It's one of our tools in the Talk to Your Teen Girl framework where we teach you how to help your daughter set goals that are achievable, measurable, and within a time frame, right? Because a goal with no time frame is just a dream, right? It won't happen. So helping her set small, achievable goals, like I want to try out for the school play this semester, or I want to find a new coffee shop in our new neighborhood. Those are great goals for her to really be proactive in her new neighborhood, proactive in making this new situation work for her. So guiding your daughter really through this transition really isn't about clearing the path for her. It's not making it easier for her. It's about walking besides her, holding her hand when she needs it and if she needs it, and giving her the tools and confidence to navigate these changes on her own. Because every new beginning, no matter how scary it seems at first, is a chance for her to grow. And as she's growing, she's going to be more resilient, more confident, and an incredible woman that she's meant to be. Okay, Mama, you can do this. That's all for now. And if you know of a mom who's experiencing a huge transition in her life and it's impacting her daughter as well, would you do me a favor and text this exact episode to her and just share that maybe she needs to hear this today? Thanks for joining. Until next time. Hey friend, if this podcast inspired you or encouraged you or helped you in any way, I'd love for you to share it. You can screenshot this episode and share it in your stories on social media or text it to a friend who can use the support. It's the best way you can thank me. I want to let other mamas know they are not alone. I'd love to stay connected with you. You can find me at raisingherconfidently.com. Until next time, live full of grace, Jeannie.